how do you find time to clean out your classroom at the end of the year? And some of the things that I've done over the years to help myself. One, I like having a list that I can use each year because checking things off, like that's an endorphin release. We feel good when we check things off, we succeed at, and we know that this is done this year. So I would just say, first of all, that can help with giving you a sense of success as you actually accomplish things, but can also help you remember, like not feel panicked about what am I forgetting? What am I forgetting? Because you have it written down. You'll add to it each year or adjust it each year as things change. So it's not written in stone, but it can really help you release that idea that I'm forgetting something super important because it's all there. Um, the other thing is have kids and volunteers help as much as possible. We recently had a post in the Teach for the Heart Facebook group that was the dirtiest wipe that made me crack up. And a teacher like gave all of the kids a wet paper towel and said, 5 minutes, person who comes back with the dirtiest wipe gets a prize. And so all of her kids, and I think it was a first grade class as well as yours, were running around just trying to wipe all the surfaces and get them as clean as possible. And then they all got prizes. Like Dirtiest got a little bit bigger, but they all got prizes because they all helped clean up. And so it was just releasing some of that to them. Obviously, some things can be released, some can't, but trying to think through like, what can I give to somebody else, whether it's a student, whether it's a volunteer, what can I pass off and delegate? Another thing that I think would be really helpful is we start to see it as an overwhelming end of year task. And so at the end of your day, set a timer for 15 or 20 minutes, and it's the last thing you're going to do before you walk out of the room. You're going to set a timer and you're going to just start somewhere. Look at your list, figure out what small task can I either get done, which is awesome because then you can check it out, or start today in this 15 to 20 minutes. And then you're going to make it a gradual progression toward getting ready for the end of the school year, as opposed to like the last 2 days, oh shoot, what do I do now? So that's something that I think can be really helpful. On the flip side, something that I've done is kind of have an evening treat where it's a longer, and this would be closer to the end for me, but it's a longer stretch of time where I'm going to spend an extra 2 or 3 hours at school on a given night or on a weekend or something. But I'm going to treat myself and I'm going to go out and I'm going to get a to-go meal at a favorite food cart or restaurant or something, and I'm going to bring it back to the classroom. And so I got a treat, I got a tasty meal, and I have this set time that I have already planned on using for this specific thing. That's all I'm going to do. And so then it's helping you build in some of that time and not make it all crunch time at the end where it's really stressful, but you're building in some of these spaces and times beforehand, some with some positives like tasty food, where you're just stretching out that goal. And to me, that releases a ton of the stress. Like, Sarah, what have you done?
So this is kind of preventative for next year. I I had all the things, y'all. Like everything that you could ever want. I love having, I don't have any, like over in my corner there, I have this giant llama. Her name was Lana, which means wool in Spanish. Like I had all these stuffed animals. Like I just started bringing less in every year, first of all, to make it, so that's just great to keep in mind. But still, you want your classroom to be fun and, all of that. So I had in high school, it's very helpful if you're a high school teacher to have your study hall kids who are just messing around, when they're messing around, I just would have them help me. And what Becky said about a list, I had that list ready at the end of April. And I also like I did some of the quote unquote little things beforehand. Like I would make sure my desk was cleaned out. Be like I wouldn't save those things for the end. I would just get, I clean out my filing cabinet or things like that that just sometimes get pushed to the side. I would take care of them, you know, during that study hall, or if there was a day that I had to stay late because my kids had practice, or you know what I mean? Like I would use those little moments. Um, and sometimes, like if my students were working on an assignment, I might take a poster down off the wall or just little, like I would use those little moments. I remember one day I chaperoned prom. And so the 2 hours between prom and when school ended, I did so much wrap up so I'm one of those pocket of time searchers. So that I just am a big fan of that.